Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to you COINTELPRO boxing fans. Family, I know I was supposed to start at 1, but I wanted to come in just a little early to give other people time to show up. And I wanted to show up early because the General 78 Sports TV, just announced that the Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney fight is official. This is breaking news that just came on my YouTube feed. The General just announced. Kano Loco TV, salute, family. The General has announced that Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney is real. Macadacious Mac of the South, salute, family. Family, come on in because we're going to talk. And you know, I was thinking the walls are literally closing in on all of these people who have been on the front line of defending our enemies. The walls are closing in on them. And I'm going to tell you what they're going to do when it looks like their views are about to drop, when it looks like that they're about to lose their hating ass fan base. This is what they're going to do, and we can't allow it. They are going to bring themselves back among us and try to act like it's all good. They're going to try to get back cool with some of you, and you shouldn't let it happen. You should make them stay on the side that they were on, because what it lets us know is that these people will do it again. Where are they going to go when more brothers start sticking together in the sport? Where are they going to go if Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney start clearing the division? What are they going to do if all of the fighters who are giving people issues start beating the people who have they've made their whole platforms on? What are they going to do? And where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? They're going to come back among us. They're going to come back and act like and talk that brother this, brother that crap. And we can't allow them to do it. But family, salute Joseph Townsend. Salute. Family, this morning I was watching the movie Get Out. And I missed so much from when I first saw it, when it first came out. Years ago, I know some of you remember when Get Out first came out and we went to go to the theaters to see it. It was something about this movie we couldn't quite put our finger on. We knew it was speaking to our third eye, but a lot of us brothers who aren't really shaken up by the horror films that deal with demons and monsters and things like that, that don't scare us. But there was something about the movie Get Out. And you brothers know what I'm talking about if you went to go see it. You brothers and sisters know what I'm talking about. There was something about that movie that when we sat there and watched it, you felt like you was on the edge of your seat. Tell me if I'm lying. When that scene, when he was in them folks' house, that scene when they hit the tea, when the white woman was hitting the tea and she said sink into the floor and he started falling into the sunken place, that made you feel some type of way. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell Coach if he's lying or I'm tripping. So I'm watching this movie and I start realizing that we missed so many things as a community. I said, hey, I'm going to go over it today while we have some time before my sister Sugar Free Mars comes on today. And for everyone that's just coming in, again, the General just announced that Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney is happening. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about this movie Get Out and how it's going to come into full circle. Peace, Queen Tay-Tay. Shelton, God bless the mighty LDBC, holding it down. So in this movie Get Out, let's talk about it, because I want to talk about the things that we missed, and then I'm going to put it all together to show you how you can use it, number one, to protect yourself, and also see what's happening in the sport of boxing when it comes to the racial BS that we know is happening, that people want to act like it's just our imagination. So in the beginning of the movie, after the brother gets snatched off the street, they start playing the song Stay Woke, right? Just Stay Woke by Childish Gambino, right? And in the very beginning of the movie, I'm not paying that close attention in the theaters, but when I watched it today, the first scene that a lot of us missed, watch this, family. They're riding down the road and they hit a deer. All right. Now, family, y'all know how I do, so you got to stay with me, okay? And don't let it fly over your head. Hold on to this. They're going down the road, they get hit by a deer, right? When the police come and pulls them over, the police ask, salute, Jimmy Bernard, salute. The police ask the black man for his license. And his white girlfriend, saying that she's defending him, says, well, why does he need to show you his license? That's BS. He doesn't. And the brother is like, man, she is defending me. Look at her go. A lot of us that went over our head. The white girl didn't want him to show his license because the white girl knew that her family was going to get rid of his body. And there was no reason for them to leave a trail showing the last place he went was with us. Because if they would have got away with what they got away with, it would have only been his friend's word versus this white family's word. Because the friend that was working for the TSA was the only one that knew that he was taking his black ass out there. All right, family? Now stay with me. The warning of your brother. When you all, us, this family, in boxing media, on YouTube, whether it's your brother Drew, whether you hear Coach Hudson saying something, whether you hear Champ Side, Sugar Free Mars, Queen Shawa, you know, the family, when we are giving you a warning, hey, brother, don't go this way. And then you don't take heed to the warning. What was the brother telling the black man with the white girl? What was he telling them? Don't go down. Don't go out there with them people. You don't know them like that. And he wouldn't listen. And anyone that has ever heard me tell the story of the bird that flew down south, all right? I'll keep it short. The bird flies down south because it's cold, all right? But when the bird gets down south, it's still a little chilly. So the bird freezes. So a cow comes along, lays a dump on the bird. And the bird is pissed. The bird is like, how dare this cow come take a dump on me? Right? So then a nice cat comes along and starts warming the bird up, removing, not so much removing the shit, but yes, removing the shit off the bird. All right. Now the bird is still pissed off at the cow. But when the cat gets the shit off the bird, what does the cat do? The cat eats the bird. The moral of the story is everyone who shit on you ain't your enemy, and everyone who looks like they're helping you is not your friend. So this all goes back to that first scene. He thinks that this woman who loves him so much is trying to help him, is really just trying to keep his information away from the police officer because she knows the plans, the diabolical plans of her family. And their plans is to destroy this brother. And all of this is going to come circling around. All right. So when they actually get down, when they get out there, okay, next scene, y'all, that probably went over some people's heads. Any of us who have been in corporate America, or who are used to dealing with these microaggressions that I'm about to speak of, you knew exactly what this scene was about. The father gets the brother away from the ladies. And what he wants to do is he wants to let the brother know, hey, I'm cool, man. So he starts talking to the brother about, well, my father ran with Jesse Owens in front of Hitler. And he says all this crap about, well, imagine Hitler seeing a black man beating a white man. Whole time, his father hated the fact that Jesse Owens was faster than him no matter how hard he trained. No matter what he did, he was faster. So his father is the one that actually created the process where they figured out how to take the third eye out of the black men and women that they were stealing and put it into the white people who were paying lots of money for their consciousness. But we'll get back into that in a second. Sister Fields, peace. So a lot of times, and you might say, well, how does that tie into boxing, coach? I don't understand. Very simple. A lot of our fighters keep trying to war with each other, and they have no smoke for the non-melanated reporters who are snakes. Go watch that interview when Devin Haney first came back against Ramirez. What's the white guy's name that was interviewing him? And Bill said, "You are a piece of shit." What was his name? What's his name? Bill is doing the interview with this guy, and the guy is telling Bill, "Hey, Bill, I'm your friend, and we got plenty of time. It's only 12:52. I wasn't supposed to start till 1. So we don't have to rush this." But the guy's talking to Bill, and Bill is saying, "Hey, you up there treating my son like crap. You all are trying to silence me." And he's like, Bill, come on, Bill. Give me a hug." See? That's that same microaggressive BS. And if you don't pay attention, we're going to keep falling for the same crap. All right? Who else does that? Who else does I'm going to come around you as a friend and act like I'm down with the people? Sean? Jim Lampley? Max Kellerman? They're not same as the allies. See, they come in acting like, everybody want to be Ali. Everybody want to have, so they think they're going to have this Howard Cosell relationship, and it's not going to happen. These MFers are agents of chaos, and you keep thinking that you are the one that can reform them. You are the one that's going to have that special relationship with them. But as soon as it becomes acceptable again to lynch in the media our people, they can't wait. They can't wait. And let me be clear on this. The reason, stay with me, family, because this scene was actually showing you. That's why Jordan Peele is a genius. This scene is showing you what every single one of us have had to deal with. How many of you sisters have been on a job and a non-melanated man comes to you and he's so nice at first, but then after he gets comfortable, he says a nasty joke to you? What is that about? Why do you feel comfortable enough with me to say this nasty joke? That nasty joke is a litmus test to see how further they can go with you. So the aggression is not as strong as grabbing you and ravishing you. It is a micro-aggressive step by step. Brothers, how many of you have been in the space of people who are microaggressive? They come, they seem nice at first, and then they make a joke that they know is borderline racist just to see how you react. These are the microaggressions that we all have to deal with. And this man, this is why everybody has to watch this movie, Get Out. Go back and rewatch it. Almost every scene is a code. And the genius behind this is the movie is about your consciousness. But if you are not conscious, you are going to have a hard time catching. That's why anytime some of these movies come out and you have a brother or sister rush to social media and say the movie wasn't all that, what are you all talking about? I thought the movie sucked. That's because you have calcified your third eye. That's because you have assimilated to the dominant non-melanated society for so long. That is what is happening. Salute, PGH Big Dog. So now that you can't see anymore, you don't even know what you're looking at. See? So that's what I call the pulling down the guard. Pulling down the guard scene. Okay? So the next scene that's important, Ms. Fields said definitely can relate. I'm the only black therapist and gotta check their butts when they get too comfortable. Family, this is how you know. We have a therapist right here in the chat. I dated a therapist. And what I learned, I dated her long enough to know the BS that they have to deal with when trying to make spaces for us or even speak on a matter like that, they give them hell for. And they are greatly outnumbered. Even the, I believe the book is called the DSM-5 book, the book with the mental disorders in the book. All right, there you go. I know a little something, sister. I know a little something. So, well, there was a black sister that taught me a little something. Let me say that. In that book, what I found out is they have altered that book every now and then, sometimes to normalize some of the BS that only their people do. But that's a whole nother live, family. That's a whole nother live. Let me stick to this because y'all know Coach will go on a rant talking about something else. So the next scene that went over a lot of our heads. So in the movie Get Out, for those who just came in the movie Get Out, we're going over these scenes and talking about some of the things you might have missed. The brother comes home and they're sitting at the table. So the brother, the whole time, and every black man that has been around these situations, you know what I'm talking about. Whole time, the brother's jealous. The brother jealous of your swag. He's jealous of the way you talk. He's jealous of the way you command attention when you walk into a room. And it affects his very being. He can't be still. He can't keep his eyes off of you. Then he finds out you are intellectually smart as well. And there's something about a brother being business-minded, politically, spiritually, economically conscious that bothers the others around him. Let me calm down. So the brother says, do you know UFC? Do you know? That's not what he said. He said, "Do you know MMA? Do you follow MMA?" This is another litmus test because later on he is going to attack him with a rear naked choke, and he wanted to know, does this brother know how to defend himself? And the brother's guard is down. So the brother says to him, the black brother says to the white girl's brother, "Hey, I did some judo in first grade, right?" Right there, family. This is why it is important for us to know not only what you're dealing with, but how to respond. How to respond. Because see, if anybody come up to me asking me about do I know how to box, do I work out, or anything like that, man to man, I'm gonna let you know I know how to take care of myself very well. Why do you ask? What we talking about? Because I'm taking it as you're sizing me up. All right, you're sizing me up. So do we need to get down now or later? Do we need to step outside now or later? Not only you asking me this, you asking me this in front of my lady. So at this point, you're trying my manhood. This is no longer an intellectual conversation. That went over a lot of people's heads, family. So you might say, well, coach, that don't have nothing to do with boxing. Family, it all ties back into each other. Every single time these brothers start rising, right? Sheldon said fluid and pisteology. I know that's right. You know, there is a litmus test. There is a litmus test. They just did an interview with Shane Mosley. I don't remember the interviewer's name, but Shane was trying to tell him that I don't have any personal problem with Devin Haney. I just wanted him to fight this way with Ramirez. And the guy keeps pushing Shane to say that he has a problem with him. He keeps trying to push Shane Mosley to say, well, do you feel disrespected? And I'm sitting there looking like, man, what's dude's problem? Why does he keep setting the atmosphere for there to be real beef? And there ain't no beef. Shane said, I just wanted him to fight a certain way. But see, that's the thing about a father. See, because a father knows things that sometimes you might not be able to see. Yes, when Devin was relaxed and he was in camp and there was nothing on the line, he probably was performing very well. But Bill saw, number one, Shane, I don't know if I can trust you all the way, because when you get around Victor Ortiz and them, well, you be acting like y'all already know. Second, I know that they're going to be screaming at the announcer's table, and my son can hear them. They already want to get in his head. See, that's why they hate Bill. They want Bill out the way. They want Bill out the way. Now watch this. From the elites in boxing, Floyd Schofield's father has not been a problem to them, even after the Shakur situation. But now that they see that Floyd Schofield is coming with that type of smoke, watch how they start critiquing his father and saying, why don't you let your son speak? I can bet you money that's what's going to happen. Why don't you let your son speak now? Because there is an effort to always shut you up. So in the movie Get Out, they're always asking, well, what about your parents? What about your father? Because we are a problem. And whether you believe in it spiritually or not, the head is always looked to be taken down. Then, okay, he ain't around. All right, mama's gonna be, I gotta handle mama careful, but I gotta get to her. See? Because let me tell you something about a mama. If a mama got a good hold on you, when you should be cussing Bob Arum's ass out, and not doing business with him no more, mama will call up and say, now listen, son, you know Bob a good man. You know Bob and came out here. He was the first one to offer us some real money. He a good white man, and you should just give him another chance. But let a brother cross you. Let a brother cross you. That same mama can say, handle that. Risk your life and take his ass out. So if the woman's mind is not conscious to what's going on, she can lead the son astray, especially if the father ain't around. So in the movie Get Out, they keep putting this emphasis on where your parents at. The litmus test. Now this part, this next scene, scared a few people, right? And this is the scene where the mother, the white girl's mother, hypnotizes the brother, and he sinks into the floor, right? And one of the first things she asked him is basically to get permission to get into his mind. Now, it's a lot to go into that right there. See, she needs permission to get into his mind physically through hypnosis. He doesn't even realize that he's giving her permission once he goes in there and he's like, well, how does it work? And before you know it, she latches her tentacles into his mind. So when someone has their tentacles in your mind, you'll have fighters like Hitchens who won't stop running his mouth, right? They have the tentacles in his mind. He won't stop running his mouth. That doesn't benefit him. He's burning his bridges with the only brothers that would or could help him. And here we are now. Here we are now. Who's going to get behind him and push him the way he needs to be pushed? So always be careful of who you listen to, what you see, what you hear, and who you allow into this. Okay? Because what we're watching is the brainwashing of a lot of our fighters. They don't know how to move. They don't know how to speak other than being ignorant. And they keep trying to put this thug jacket on all of you. And Hitchens, young brother, just fell for it. He fell for the thug jacket. Just how they did Devin Haney when he was representing our nation. While he's representing the USA, they tried to put a thug jacket on him. He's never been that. So they get Hitchens to say, hey, man, go out there and call him out real ignorant like. So now it's not going to be just about boxing. If he ever gets in trouble, they're going to go back to that clip right there. Well, this is Hitchens. See, this is what he did. So then the white girlfriend says to the brother, hey, let's go for a walk. And he is so stunned. He is so in love with this white woman, he can't think straight. Now, this is Coach's opinion. This part right here, this is just my opinion on your dating. Brothers, I'm gonna tell you this. If you're gonna go be with that, you better know what you're doing. Because, no, F that. Brothers, it's more than enough different types of beautiful black women to go get you one. All right? Don't fall for this crap that they're pushing on social media, that we're all divided, that we don't need each other. Our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. But how many of our brothers are getting in trouble with these non-melanated women, and they're not held to the same standard. They're not critiqued to the same standard. One of our greatest fighters almost took his first L because he thought he had this woman. Matter of fact, Jack Johnson did take his fall because he was married to a white woman, and they created the Mann Act for his ass. And who are they taking down right now using the Mann Act 100-something years later? Diddy. Who did they take down using the Mann Act years before that? R. Kelly. Who did they take the Mann Act? Who did they use the Mann Act also on or try to? Bill Cosby. Do you see a pattern? Do you see what's going on? So, family, you brothers, you have to think about this. Because while she is walking around the outside, they're having an auction. So that scene where they're playing bingo, whoever wins the bingo game wins the body of this brother. All right. Now, this is real important. There are three other black people in the vicinity. There's the brother that works out in the yard. There's Georgina, who works in the house. And then there's the brother Latham, who is snatched a little earlier. And there are certain things that tick them off. Their conscience has already been stolen. But anytime the flash goes off, they start tripping. So what was it about that flash that would make them come back to? He's out there with the brother Latham. He takes a picture of him. The flash goes into his eyes, and the brother wakes up and starts screaming, "Get out, get out." He can't warn him no other way, just get out, get out. They get the brother, they take him back in the room and put him back under hypnosis, and he comes out and he says, "Brother, I don't know what got into me. I apologize if I scared you. I'm going to go lay back down." What that was signifying is when you see a picture of yourself, you should understand what is happening to you. When you get a picture of yourself, you can now see that this is how I'm being. So a lot of times, that's why people get so upset when you call them out on their BS. Anytime you show a brother that he's being a Sambo, anytime you show him that he's being disloyal, and you hold that mirror up to his face and you say, "Do you see yourself? Do you see you?" He starts tripping. He gets more upset than ever before. And if any of you have watched me on a channel, when I call it out, if I call out a brother being a spineless, handkerchief head Negro, they get out their bag every single time. And that's because I hold that camera up to their face, I press that button, and that flash forces them to see that they're being other than themselves and against their own nature. Let's see. Yes, and the bingo game was about his soul. All right. The brother, then when the brother starts realizing what's going on and tries to leave and tries to escape, the mother, she taps the teacup, he falls back. Now, I don't know if you all caught this, but the white brother says, let me get him first. Let me get him first. And the mama says, he's been hurt enough. Remember the last time. That scene, and it was real quick, that was about him wanting to sodomize him. And you all need to understand this is the same brother who was trying to challenge him physically to a fight. He now wants to take him before they take his eye out and do that to him. Now, think about how wicked that is. You're already about to put him to sleep. You're already about to take his consciousness out. But you want to cause more trauma to him before that process. And that, family, is what you call a devil. And no one can convince me otherwise. You know, no one can convince me otherwise. Let's see if I can put this. All right. With your natural gifts or determination. So they take him down to the basement. They take the brother down to the basement. He's in a chair like this one. And they turn on the television. When they turn on the television, a man pops up and he's talking about the coagula experiment. The coagula experiment is an experiment that the white girl's grandfather made for them to be able to take the consciousness of a person. And he says to the brother, watch this. He says, with your natural gifts and our determination, we can do great things. What does that sound like? He's basically saying, with your fighting skill and with my intellectual prowess, we're going to be great. What does that sound like? Does that not sound like prize fighting? Does that not sound like the predicament that a lot of our fighters are in? You go out there and fight, boy. I'm going to be the businessman. I'm going to make the chess moves. You just do what I say. But a lot of these fighters don't realize that they are in the sunken place. Salute to the queen of boxing media, Sugar Free Mars. I think we were just speaking about you. Wrapping this up before you come on later in the afternoon. All right? But a lot of our brothers are in the sunken place, whether you all know it or not. This is why they can disrespect our fighters, and our fighters only have smoke for each other. They never have smoke, not just for the elites in boxing. A lot of times, they don't have smoke for the journalists. They don't have smoke for not just the journalists. They don't, hey, family, it's going to be Sugar Free Mars, first live today. Make sure you tune in. But a lot of our fighters, family, they will disrespect each other in ways that they wouldn't do with anybody else. Imagine if when Canelo, let's see somebody great that Canelo beat, and it meant something. It meant worth a damn. I can't even think of somebody else besides, because he lost a lot of his great step-ups. But a lot of you fighters aren't jumping in the ring after a great Mexican bout, after a great Eastern European bout, like Shakur did Devin when he beat Loma. Y'all just aren't doing it, okay? A lot of you all are not calling them out the way Hitchens called out Dev in that disrespectful manner. It just isn't happening. And this movie, the movie Get Out, if you go watch and read in between the lines, it's giving you the cheat code. You just have to wake up and pay attention. You have to wake up and pay attention. Now watch this, family. This is one of the most important scenes in the movie Get Out. When they're in the basement, he's talking to the man, and he asked the man that is about to take his consciousness. Now pay attention, family. The white man that's about to take his consciousness, the brother asks, why me? Not just why me, he says, verbatim, why black people? This is why we probably will never get another movie like Get Out. Watch this. The white man says, it's not about you being black so much, but I want your eye. He didn't say eyes. Pay attention, family. He didn't say eyes. He said, I want your eye. And he held it like this. I want your eye. They're telling you they want your consciousness and your physical body. Athletically and spiritually, I want to be able to do what you do. Notice how all the movies with the messages, it all goes back to a devil saying, I want this. In the movie Sinners, when he's having the conversation with the vampire says, I heard the music and the way you can reach into time and reach back into time from your talent. I want your blood because I want that. Fam, I can't make that more plain. I can't make that more plain. He said, I want to see through your eye. So in the sport of boxing, you might ask, well, coach, how does that all tie into together? Okay. Number one, I want you to go watch the movie Get Out Again. But hold on, family. M. Banks Unfiltered. Peace, family. They said they want a non-calcified pineal gland. That all goes back to this right here, family. And boxing is the only sport they have not been able to successfully keep us all in the sunken place. They did it with football. That's why they always make an example for anyone who tries to step out. Now stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. In the movie Get Out, the movie we've been talking about this whole time, I talked about that flash. That flash, all right? Patrice X30, I know it's on now. Salute, family. When the flash would come on, all the brothers and sisters whose third eye had been stolen, they start tripping, right? They start tripping, crying, yelling, get out, right? In football and basketball, what happens to these brothers when they try to step out of line? When they don't go with the status quo? What happens? They make an example out of them, and everybody else got to fall back into line. The Neanderthal been trying to assimilate for a millennial. So the thing that happened with Deion Sanders' family that they did during the draft, that was get in line. That was them snapping that camera because they were letting them know, all right, Deion, you doing too much. You're doing too much. See, and some of you brothers who have had that surgery already, who have removed voluntarily your third eye, you all are the first to defend the enemy. You are the first to defend the wrongdoings, because it's you brothers who will come and say, well, Deion Sanders is just doing this for his son. Deion Sanders is just doing this to get an advantage for his team. Deion Sanders is just going into the hood to do this. How come you brothers were not arguing or making a big point when Nick Saban was doing it? How come none of you brothers were doing this when all of these white recruiters from PWIs who go into the hood, pick out our best, make them the sharecroppers into the league? The league, college football at that, just started making money. Before that, the athletes couldn't get none of it. And who's on the front line defending it? Those who have already had it taken out. In football and b-ball, they cracked the whip, Vic, T.O., and Iverson. That's right. They cracked that whip every time. They wanted to buck break the Sanders. That's right. That's what that was about. They wanted to put them on the whipping post. And the last point I want to make about the movie Get Out, if you didn't understand nothing else, I know some of you brothers think that it doesn't matter who you lay with. I know that some of you brothers think that you can go sleep with a white woman, you can go marry a white woman, whatever, do your thing, and still be on your post and as alert as you should be. But watch what they showed you in the movie. When he got out the house, even though he was free, and it was time for him to end the life of this devil who tried to take his life, remove his consciousness, and have done it to countless brothers and sisters. While he's choking her, he looks into her eyes and realizes that he loved her so much that he can't even finish. He can't even finish the job and end her life, and he had every right to do so, but he couldn't. He couldn't because he laid with that woman so much. Her essence, her spirit is a part of him. So you all have to understand what's going on. There is an attack on your consciousness in everything that you love. And brothers, especially you, they want to attack us because we set the tone in the community. If all of us come together and say, we're not doing this anymore, everybody gonna fall in line. But as long as we war with each other and they keep us distracted, in boxing, we're having arguments based off of basically being on code, supporting the best, and people that don't want to do it. I'm seeing brothers saying they don't want to see Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. They need to let it build. Will you shut your goddamn mouth? Shut up. Sometimes, family, you need to shut your ass up. And that's why we got to get back to what, back in the day, if it was somebody in the barbershop, somebody in the house, somebody in the family that always say some goofy stuff, hey, shut your ass up. What you need to understand is Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, that fight could potentially not only save boxing, but it could revolutionize the minds of our young boys and girls who think y'all all are cowards because the way you've been moving. Hitchens, the way you've been moving. Shakur, you in the crowd cheering on Ryan Garcia in New York after they just crap on all of us. Patrice X30 said Archie Manning told teams not to draft Eli Manning, and people applauded him for being an involved father. That's why they send their women in. Now listen, family. Sugar Free said that's why they send their women in. How many times have we seen our brothers, our great brothers, be taken down through the bedroom? Be taken down through the bedroom. You're too strong. We can't get them that way. We can't get Jack Johnson that way. But you know what? If we just go ahead and put some legislation in, we can take him down that way. We can't find anybody to beat Ali, but if we put that draft on him, we can take him down that way. And what's so sad about that is most brothers didn't want to touch Ali. It took Howard Cosell to reach out to Frazier to even set that up, but that's another live. So brothers, I'm not going to tell you who to love, who to sleep with, etc., but just understand, you better know what you're setting yourself up for. Because y'all be thinking y'all the one that's going to be the change. That you're going to be... How many times do we have to go through this same rigmarole for you all to see that it ain't changing? The devil cannot reform itself. Let me say that again. The devil cannot reform itself. It can only cause more division and more chaos. We thought that Jack Johnson was going to change it. We thought that Jackie Robinson was going to change it. We thought, well, maybe if we show that Joe Louis is great, Sugar Ray Robinson is great, these people, they have to change. And it ain't happened yet. So today, you think that if you get close enough to them, something's going to change, and it ain't happening. It's not, listen to me, family, it is not happening. No one can emancipate you. That is something that you have to fight for and do yourself. Sure, they will say that Abraham Lincoln emancipated slavery. Wars were fought. Wars were fought before the Civil War. The Gullah Geechee Seminole Wars were fought for 100 years, leading all the way up into the Civil War. The Creek Indian, Seminole Indian beat Andrew Jackson and the United States Army two times. Not once, but 2 times. That is why slaves could escape to Florida instead of having to go all the way up north, but they're not going to tell you that. You have to emancipate yourself. Doing the movie Rosewood. In the movie Rosewood, when the blacks were trying to get on the train, and some of the whites, the Klansmen, tried to go into Gainesville, and you had those sheriffs, the white sheriffs, saying, you're not coming into here. That's not how that happened. There were actually armed black people in Gainesville who are there today, thousands of them that own the same land, during the Rosewood Massacre, that told them, you're not coming in here killing our people. It was black people, but of course they cannot put that in Hollywood. So what you brothers need to understand is every single time we defend our people and our stance and our champions who are doing what they're supposed to do, you have to understand that you are on the front line and holding us back. You are against the very liberation of your own people, of your children. And some of you have children and wives. And sometimes I got to sit back and say, I wonder, do your wives know that you say this goofy crap that's coming out of your mouth? Patrice X30 says, the elders used to say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. When Top Rank shows you what they think of you, believe them. If Golden Boy shows you, believe them. But y'all want to beef with Bill Haney? Now, it's 2 things that's about to happen, and I'm going to wrap it up. It's 2 things that's about to happen. And I want you all to think about this during the week. Like I always say, I want the light bulb to come on. Brian Norman Sr., Floyd Schofield's father, Bill Haney, the Masons' father, somewhere in a boardroom, they are planning how to deal with these brothers. Right now, as we speak, listen to me, they are conspiring to deal with these brothers and figure out a way to use them, to use these fights to cause division amongst us. And they have to do it. Why do they have to do it? The plan that they had over the last few years with the ducking, with the racism that they thought was going to sell, and their fighters who are not up to par, the walls are closing in on them. So it's looking like our champions, listen now, follow me, family. If Devin Haney, Boots, Terrence Crawford, we talking divisions now, Abdullah Mason, and the little boy divisions, we ain't even talking about them. But starting about at 135, 130, because we got some killers in 132. Shushu. Wilder's fighting again. Right? Family, if our fighters start bringing that smoke, wait a minute. People who have made their whole career, who have been getting paid 6 figures to be traitors to their own race in the sport of boxing, what is going to happen? What's going to happen to their channels, their platforms, their views? Where are they going to go? Because they can't go back among us. Those of them who have used our fan base as a stepping stone to turn on us, where are they going to go? And I'm going to tell you, the only people they're going to be able to turn to are these non-melanated YouTubers and journalists who have been hating from the Devin Haney lynching period till now. And that is why you have to be careful who you vouch for, because some of them are already turning. That's how you get your Vlad TVs and your Adam 22s. So family, be alert on what's happening. And when you get a chance, go rewatch that movie Get Out. Because almost every scene is giving you an idea on microaggressions, on how to move. Patrice X30 said Haney versus Bryan got made quickly when they negotiated directly with each other without devil middleman. No coincidence. Family, if you're coming in and you don't know, the general announced about an hour ago that the Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney fight is official. Is official. And the general, 780 is the only one who I know has close ties to both of them and can call both of them right up and say they're good to go. So unless I hear different, as of right now, the fight is on, and it looks like they were able to make it happen by talking directly with each other and keeping certain agents of chaos out of it. What do I always say about that movie Godfather? Anytime they sent someone from outside the family to handle the business, chaos happened. But family, we've been on for about an hour. I'm going to get at y'all later. Make sure you tune in to the Queen of Boxing Media, Sugar Free Mars, and I believe the brother Stormy B-Man is on. I'm about to head over there. Peace to the family. Till next time, salute.